In this demonstration, we're going to have a look at testing the DNS server. I've come to my DNS utility. What I'm going to do at this point here is I'm just going to right click on my server, come down to the properties on my server, and what we're going to have a look at here to start with for troubleshooting purposes or testing purposes, we'll just look at the advanced tab. On the advanced tab, as we can see here, we have various server options that we can enable. For example, deny the service attack potentially. We've got secure cache against pollution. What we've also got as well for testing purposes, if we just have a look at the root hints tab, this point here we can see all of the root DNS servers sitting out on the internet. So we'll use these if we can't actually resolve names internally. Then what we have is if we just come along to the next tab, which is the debug logging. So under the debug logging at this point here, if we do suspect we have a problem with the DNS server, we have the ability to log packets for debugging, and we can do for packet direction, and we can also specify as well transport protocol, have a look at the packet contents, packet type, and under the other options as well, we've got things like log unmatched incoming response packets, get details, and also as well filter packets by IP address. If we do enable the log packets for debugging, what we can also specify as well is we can specify the location for the log file that we'll use for later analysis. If we then move along to event logging, so within event logging we can specify exactly what it is we want to log within the Windows event logs. So in my case, I'm not really bothered about all events. What I'm more interested in is any errors or warnings that I get. And then what we have is we have our monitoring tab. So in the case of our monitoring tab, we'll just do a simple query against this DNS server. And if we do a test now, we can see we get a pass. And what we also have as well is we also have the ability to do recursive query to other DNS servers. So if we do a test against this, I'm expecting it to fail. Don't have any internet access to talk to any external DNS servers or any other DNS servers. And as we can see, we have had the failure. So at this point here, we'll just turn off the tick box for our recursive query. We also have some command line utilities that we can use for troubleshooting. So we'll just come to PowerShell. And what we'll do at this point here is we'll just use Nslookup to do some debugging information against one of our other DNS servers in our environment. And we're going to issue Nslookup -d2 debug, and we're going to go for lon-dc1.daemon.com. As we can see here, it's returned back quite a bit of information relating to lon-dc1. But I suppose the important thing if we look down here is, keep going, as we can see information is returned back, and we can see a lot more information than we get from using a standard Nslookup. Let's just clear the screen off. We also have some additional PowerShell commandments we can use for testing DNS. And we'll just do a test-DNS server -IP address and specify the IP address of this DNS server itself. And as we can see at this point here, we have success. One of the other commandments that we can use as well is we have another PowerShell commandment, which is our get-DNS Server Diagnostics. And what we'll do is just hit the Enter key. As we can see at this point here, we don't actually have any of the logging enabled. Next thing we'll do here is we'll just look at some of the log files. So we'll go back to Server Manager, and in Server Manager we'll just go to our Tools, and we'll just go to Event Viewer. And then we'll come into our Application Service Logs. Within our Application Service Logs, as you can see here, what we have is we have a DNS log. So if we have a look at the DNS log, we can see information relating to our DNS server. We'll just come into Microsoft, and within Microsoft if we go to Windows, and within Windows if we have a look down here, what we should find is we also have DNS information within here. And we'll just go to our DNS server, and within our DNS server what we can see is we can see our audit logs. And just to get a little bit more information, we'll just right click on the DNS server, and what we'll do is we'll just come down to our view, and we'll also show our analytical and debug logs. As you can see, that's doing a bit refresh, and as we can see at the top now, we have our analytical logs as well. And all we'll do is we'll come down to analytical, we'll right click, and all we'll do at this point here is we'll come to properties, and within the properties, under the general, you can see information relating to the log, location, current size. And what we're going to do at this point here is we'll actually enable logging. Just saying it may lose events when they are enabled. Do I want to enable this log? Yes I do, so we'll select OK. and we'll just select OK at this point. We'll just come back to PowerShell, and then just within PowerShell all we'll do is we'll just do an Nslookup. We'll just specify the server to be our tor-svr1 box, and then we'll just do a query against that server. And we'll do that query against alt-svr1.contoso.com. And as we can see, it's returned back the IP address of the alt-svr1 box. We'll now just move across to our client machine, and what we'll do is we'll use Windows PowerShell to configure a global DNS setting. What we're going to do on the client machine is we're just going to resolve DNS name alt-svr1.contoso.com. Now we're expecting this to fail purely because 1CL1 has no information about the Toronto server. So after a couple of seconds what we should see is this should fail. As we can see, we've now got the failure, so let's just clear the screen off. And the next thing we're going to do at this point here is we're just going to actually configure this client machine to be able to talk to tor-svr1 DNS server. And in order to do that, we just need to go across to the lon-dc1 domain controller. In order to do this, I'm going to add a -DNS server conditional forwarder zone -contoso.com, so anything that talks to contoso.com will go and resolve via 172.16.18.20. And as we can now see, contoso.com zone type is a forwarder. We'll just go back to the client machine. Now on the client machine, we'll just do the resolution again. So resolve DNS name atl-svr1.contoso.com. And as we can now see, we can now resolve through the IP address via the conditional forwarder that we've just configured. That's the end of this demonstration of testing DNS servers. Thank you.